Hi, I'm Kat,
And I'm Megan.
and we dun dun da da.
Are doing something completely new. So,
Hello,
hi.
everybody. As we said, that's Kat. I'm Megan, and this lovely human is my good friend Sierra. So, welcome. Let's. Sierra, why don't you introduce yourselves? I can't speak.
I contain multitudes.
Why don't you introduce yourself to the collective you?
It's lovely to meet you all. As you all know, I am Sierra. I use any pronouns, so feel free to use any of them that tickle your fancy. I am Ravenclaw. I am a Cancer, and I'm also a metal rooster for my
Ooh.
Chinese astrological sign.
Hey, I'm a metal sheep.
Wood boar.
Of course you are. I forgot about that. Of course you're a wood boar, Cat.
Horus, wood boar, just stubborn, hardworking.
Hardworking,
all the way
definitely.
through.
This is why you're a Hufflepuff. And this little... I'm just kidding.
I also work as a tutor, so that's what I'm spending most of my time in. And I was in college for biological sciences,
Whoa.
which seems a bit interesting considering that the way that I met Megan in college was through a singing class, actually.
Yup. So, so we both ended up in Mr. Nate Pruitt's beginning singing class, oddly enough, which is really weird because we had both been in like really good choirs.
I was in competitive choir for 4 years before that.
Yeah, and then I had been in Vintage Singers, which was Deanza's audition choir. They have like a regular choir, and then they have the audition choir, which I accidentally ended up in first, but you know, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, you know what, Sierra, you tell this story because you remember it better than I do. I just remember the bit.
Which came much later after we had met.
There are multiple sides. I've heard this story before. There are multiple sides that just add to the flavor. So we might want to do like A side, B side, flip flop between.
So I had joined this beginning vocal class because when I was signing up for the course, I wasn't really sure if their idea of beginner was you already know how to sight read or not. And so, like, I didn't know where each of the differentiating levels kind of were lying. So I decided I was going to take the beginner one and see exactly what they mean by beginner, intermediate, and advanced, because those topics, those classifications are very general. And there wasn't anything in the actual material that gave a clue as to this is what you need to know to be considered like ready for this course.
If you're a beginning singer, start here. If you're an intermediate singer, start here. I'm like, that's a great course description. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. That was very helpful. So it turns out that the beginning vocal class is meant for students who haven't really sung before, which is not me. I've been singing for most of my life. It's also not Megan.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
They've also been singing for quite a while.
Just a little bit.
First class, Mr. Nate was going around asking people, hey, what is your favorite genre of music? Just kind of as a get to know you. And I said that my favorite genre of music was Baroque classical music and opera, which I had been classically trained in, which is true. I am very out of practice now, so I will not be singing opera on this channel. But I was trained in opera for, I think at that point it was like 2 years potentially.
And of course,
yes.
me being the little nerd I am, heard this and went, or something like that.
And I hear this squeal of excitement, and I go, oh, there is someone in this room who is interested in this. Whichever part of that there is questionable, but there's someone who's interested. I look over to that general side of the room. I can't make out who it is yet, but I know to keep in mind, like, okay, keep an eye on the answers from that side of the room, and I will probably get my answer. So it gets over to said side of the room, and I'm paying very close attention.
And me, it's like, normal person saying pop, rock, hip hop, whatever, drops to 4'10". Hi, I love musical theater and choir music, because I had just gone from De Anza, where I had done a little bit of classical music training, like Setumami and stuff. And then I was at Gavilan, and nobody seemed to have a frame of reference for what that even meant. But
yeah, Mom over here like,
theater.
There she is.
Yeah. So that's how we just like realized the other person existed.
Yeah, that's when we realized that there's someone in this class that has similar interests. Yeah. So after class, I stayed behind because I wanted to talk to the instructor a little bit. Megan also stayed behind to talk to the instructor for a bit. Got permission to use the piano. And as the two of us start talking, it becomes incredibly apparent, incredibly quickly, that we are going to become fast friends. So Megan took me to one of the piano practice rooms, and we both decided to sing along to a few songs before we get into the Disney musical sheets that she has.
Yeah, I had it wasn't quite a fake book, but it was one of those like vocal piano sheet music things where it would give me chords. And I will link it because I'm gonna be revamping my channel hopefully by the time this goes up. I'll link one or two of the songs that we recorded together like 13 years ago.
We have quite a few of them.
We do, but yeah.
And you just like pulled this out of your backpack, just like Mary Poppins style, just like, by
Mr. Nate.
By the way, I have this.
Can I use this grand piano at some point? I know there's piano rooms, but can I occasionally play in here? And he was like, yeah, if there's no classes, just have at it. So we did a lot of our recording in that acoustically beautiful room.
That room was designed with the acoustics in mind.
Yeah. It was great.
It was wonderful. It used to be a bigger hall. They separated it in half, like at some point. Yeah. Okay. It used to like that entire building was just one room originally.
That makes so much sense considering how that room was laid out. I never thought about it before, but now that you've said it, I'm like, I can't unsee it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Feel free to check out the clip that Megan is surely linking somewhere. We had a lot of fun. And yeah, so we became very fast friends, and the hee ho 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 mention that you made was much later in our friendship when we realized, we keep kind of hitting the same songs in the Disney musical songbook. Let's just sing going straight through the songbook. And we got to Les Poissons. And we're singing this mostly from memory. This is not a very common song for either of us. And we get to the point where it's like the hee ho ho ho, and just start cry laughing.
Exactly the same intonation, and just dying of laughter. And it happened, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna be friends.
Yep. The friendship was cemented. Like, there's no going back. You're stuck with me now. I apologize. No worries.
But yeah, so that's how we got to know each other. And then we lost touch, and then we reconnected. And then, like, a couple months ago, we reconnected again because like I lost their number and life was happening and stuff. But
things like that.
I don't remember how it happened, but we reconnected again.
We did reconnect. We've technically reconnected several times over the years, just because life keeps getting in the way. It's bound to happen. Yeah. But we do always manage to reach out to each other when something reminds us. For example, the most recent time that we reconnected after a long absence was because there was a musical that Megan had introduced me to.
Oh, yeah.
And it was Six. Love Six. It's great.
Funny story. That's the first musical I introduced Kat to when we became friends. So.
But yeah, Megan introduced me to Six, and I was watching an animatic. I was watching an animatic for several of the Six songs, and I thought to myself, you know who would love this? Megan. So I sent a message out to Megan being like, hey, I was thinking about you. And then I asked if Megan had heard of a musical called Epic.
And I'd heard of it. This brings us to the next point. So I've heard of this musical. I've not listened to any of it. I know nothing Jon Snow.
And me being the middle sandwich person, I have seen some stuff about it because animatics are just so pretty. And like the music is just catchy enough, and like sometimes for D&D animatics they'll use the music, and I'm like, I swear, like even when we're like, hey, we're gonna go in blind, I was like, yeah, we're gonna go in blind, and I clicked on a D&D animatic and it started playing the music. I was like, and I have to leave.
So hard. It's so hard to avoid it entirely.
I don't know, considering that all our algorithms are the same, apparently. But yeah, no, I don't know what I'm getting into. But yeah.
I mean, it's a story of the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Yeah, well, that's
the classic.
That's all I know. That's what he told me. That's how I know what I know.
Yes. I have been following the creation of Epic through Jorge's original TikTok channel when it was like just a couple of months into being made. And I have been following it ever since then, as each of the sagas have been created, talked about, casting was being done, auditions were being run, and I was tempted to do an audition and then went, and how am I going to get to anywhere? No, I'm not auditioning. I don't have like the time or the money to actually devote myself into this, even though I love the project. And as each saga was announced and released, I was getting more excited and talking to more people about it and just binging each of the songs and like analyzing them. So when I heard that Megan had not heard any of the songs, knew nothing of the musical besides its name and the general idea of it being about like the Iliad and the Odyssey, I'm like, I need to be there and see your reaction when you're watching this for the first time.
Yeah. So they said you have to react and you have to take me with you.
Please.
And meanwhile, on the other side of that, I was like, okay, we just reconnected. Hey, Kat, you would really like Sierra. I don't know how I managed to go, 6 years having you as my best friend and like almost never mention Sierra.
Right?
What?
Like, I remember it was like one of those, like, oh, hey, by the way, I have so many friends that are like into all of these things, including Sierra, and I'll introduce you sometime. They're really cool. And then, like,
I was like, you're gonna like Sierra because the vibes are correct,
right?
Because I know you and I know them, and it's gonna make sense when you meet her. But yeah, so then this little meeting right here, the three of us all popped into this meeting room on Friday, and wouldn't you know?
Wow, it's like we've all been friends for years.
Right?
It's almost like I know
we all have similar vibes.
We do. We have really similar vibes. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, three neurodivergent AFABs walk into a meeting room and and dun dun.
And we geek
But
out. We nerd out.
yes.
We
Yes.
squeal.
Yes. I have to add you to the topic, Adam.
And this is where I think we would like to remind our audiences to please not spoil anything about
Yes.
Epic.
Yes.
We are
So,
planning
to
to
officially mention it. I guess we should
yes.
say it officially. We're doing an Epic reaction series. So that's why we're doing this. That's what this
Yes.
introduction's about. So please don't spoil it. Please. I want to love it, but I also I need to go in blind. There's a reason I've been avoiding all of this. So please.
Yes. We are planning to listen primarily to the official releases of the music. We're not going to be watching any of the animatics at first. After we're done reacting to it with the music, we will address potentially watching animatics and potentially even watching the official live streams.
Yeah,
but
I think we were talking about like listening to them and then doing the live streams. I don't know when the live streams were done, if it was like all at once or if it was one song at a time, but like we'll do a bunch of auxiliary stuff probably. So
yes.
Yeah.
And if you guys have recommendations, you can leave links to the animatics or to the videos.
Yes.
But
Yeah, actually,
this goes to
or
the,
that,
we're
to
keeping
that
it
end, to that end,
Yeah.
leave those links in the Discord, please, so that we can actually copy them and save them. And that way, Sierra can keep me safe and like
Yes.
keep me blind. I won't check that channel. I'll like mute it or something. I'll make a new channel just for those.
Because honestly, if it's left up to me, I'm probably going to be bringing in a lot of Gigi's animatics because those are my absolute favorite. But we would like to have a variety.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Sorry.
And so on that note, kind of what we were hinting at is we read the comments because we're a small channel and we love you guys and we want to interact with you guys. So we don't want spoilers. Like, and again, if you guys want to say like, oh my gosh, this motif in this song is like super awesome, sort of thing, that's great. But don't say, oh my goch, they use this motif every time someone's gonna die in the next scene. That is the spoiler.
Please don't. Like I watched. I'll link it actually because it was an incredible reaction series. But Amari Leone reacted to Hamilton like a song to three. Baby. She's aggressively singing her ABCs. Hold on. Can you hold on for like 30 seconds, mamas? Okay. So he was watching all of Hamilton, and the thing is, people kept going like, for example, because this reactor was very against cheating, and for some reason, I guess his comment section was not. Everybody kept going like, oh, wait till Mariah Reynolds kind of thing. Yeah, guys. So like,
That's a spoiler.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Exactly. Or like, or the second that spoilers for those who haven't watched Hamilton, you can skip to this here. But when Philip died, everybody was like, now you have to go back and watch Alexander Hamilton, the opening number, so that you can see all the double entendres, blah 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 blah. Guys, let him react. Let him freak.
Spoilers.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. So if it is a reaction, like as we're reacting, if you want to say something about the episode we have just posted, go ahead. If it's anything to do with something we have not reacted to yet, please, please, please save it for that video. We would love to hear about it on that video, and then we can react. You're watching our reaction, then we'll react to you. Gotta love all the meta. But we can respond to you and go, oh my gosh, we didn't notice that, or oh yeah, like I saw that, but I forgot to, like, we would love to have that conversation with you for that video.
Yes. But if the thing has to do with a song or an event or even a series of events that happen in future songs, you might want to keep it to yourself until those moments have already been exposed to us through the music.
Yes.
So I know it's really fun to be like, ooh, here's a nice little tidbitty hint. Keep it quiet.
Please, no tidbitty hints. Please, please. We can talk about all of that stuff after we've actually gotten to that part. Like once you've reacted, then lament about how you couldn't give me the tidbit 5 videos ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my god,
we got to this part and you didn't or did notice it, and I wanted to say something during this one because it was the callback or the foreshadowing, and I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's so smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, again, like we just want to keep it nice and kind, and yeah, just be nice, please.
Be kind, keep it blind.
Exactly.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. So we should probably wind down because it took us 15 years to get this set up working properly, and Kat needs to go turn into a pumpkin.
Pumpkin
yeah,
emoji, right where my face is just.
If you guys would like, you can leave a like on the video or comment on the content, so long as you're not spoiling. And you can subscribe so you can follow this epic reaction journey.
Jazz hands. All right.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Let's sign off. Let's
so once
sign
again,
off.
yeah, with feeling, I'm Kat.
And I'm Megan.
And I'm Sierra. And we dun dun da da da
Are the Muses.
See you next time. Bye.
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 Oh, and even the baby says bye.
Okay.
Oh shit. Kat? What the flip just happened?
I don't know. What happened?
You tried to video call me on WhatsApp while we are trying to record. I'm so confused.
I did it. Okay. This is going over there. Faye, stop, please. I know you don't like electronics and metal, but please. This works. Okay.